Rukus Avenue Radio.
It is Tata, co-founder of DESI TRILL on Rukus Avenue Radio. Let's go.
Hey, this is Shabz, co-founder of DESI TRILL. You're locked into Rukus Avenue Radio.
Hello, this is your correspondent Priyadarshini G. Roy. Rukus Avenue Music Group was the first ever South Asian record label based in North America. We're a proud supporter of the global music scene, especially regarding South Asian representation for the past 26 plus years through music, radio, and beyond. We are thrilled to speak to the next-gen music wave makers as we speak to Tai and Shabz from DESI TRILL. Shabz, Tai, welcome to the show.
What's up?
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for joining us via Zoom. So my first question for the both of you is, can you share the inspiration behind the creation of DESI TRILL, and what was that moment when this genre appealed to you the most?
Should I go first?
Yeah.
So the question is, what's the inspiration behind DESI TRILL?
Correct.
Well, the inspiration behind DESI TRILL is it's more about breaking boundaries, man. It's more about ensuring that South Asians, being that I'm Indian myself, right? A South Asian kid growing up in London, I want to ensure that we have a voice, you know what I mean? And no better way to do it than sound. We only understand sound, you know what I mean? So that's the whole inspiration behind DESI TRILL on my behalf.
All right, Tai, what's your inspiration for this genre-defying fusion inspirational group, DESI TRILL?
Well, my inspiration is I think I will play a huge part in helping, to expand hip hop to a wide audience. Shabz is DESI, I'm Trill. That's where the name come from. So for us to blend that thing together to create a new genre of music, because DESI TRILL is a new genre of music. It's not just the name of the company. So that was my inspiration, and believing in Shabz's idea to start this thing, and knowing and understanding where he's coming from about how he want his culture to be seen and heard and felt. So I was totally down for that, because in hip hop, that's all we know. We broke through that thing, so I think we could do it again now.
Wonderful. I love that. Rukus Avenue Music Group has also been a very safe space for South Asian artists and cultivating their own IP, supporting those voices that have not been heard thus yet for over 26 years. So how has that changed now? Shabz, you grew up in South London and you were exposed to Desi music and contemporary Western sound. So how has the music scene changed in England for South Asians?
I mean, I'll speak for the world. I mean, like, with technology today, there's cultural education now moving at a fast pace, right? And people can no longer tell people what their narrative is. People are discovering it for themselves, right? And that's a global aspect. So I'm just excited for the whole world that is now getting up on every culture. You know what I mean? So I just speak for like the globe, not just London.
I love that. And so on this global music trend, how has your upbringing kind of contributed to the birth of DESI TRILL? You said you grew up as an Indian listening to Desi music. So how has that influenced your musical aspirations?
I mean, like, it's always had. We grew up in a real Bollywood home, right? And my parents are immigrants in the UK, right? So connecting with Bollywood was a way of connecting back home, right? So that's always lived in us, in our DNA. And especially when I used to be a musical producer, the melodies used to always come out on the keyboard, right? So it's authentic. It's real. It's I can't explain it. It's just there.
It's ingrained in your blood.
Right.
Right. All right, Tai, your remarkable career has spanned over 2 decades, working with music legends across genres. So how does DESI TRILL fit into your trajectory as a music industry powerhouse?
It fits me because I just think it's exciting to do something different. In music, you need something that's going to keep pushing you to be creative. And this is one of those things that happened when Shabz came up with this idea and shared it with me. I just instantly understood where he was going and where he was coming from. And then I got super excited because I felt like it gave me another spark, right, to be creative. And that part is fun. So, it's been almost 3 years, 2.5 years for us just to create the sound without even having artists. We spent all of that time just to create the sound, which is the DESI TRILL sound. And for me, that inspired me to go. I'm super excited and ready to keep pushing forward with this thing.
All right, so another follow-up for you, Tai. How do you envision DESI TRILL to contribute and change the landscape of music in the future?
I think it's going to change the landscape of music, period. Because once, like I saw that when we were in the studio one day. You know, we were in the studio with Black guys, white guys, Indian guys, Puerto Rican guys, you know, from all different backgrounds, and we all were jamming to the exact same music with the same excitement and the same energy. You know, it's one of the best rooms I've been in the studio, you know, and that's what the music is. You know, with this music, it has no borders. You know, that's what it's about with DESI TRILL, you know. So in that room, it was a great moment, and that's when I already knew we were in the right direction, but to see so many different cultures together, it was really dope. So I think that's going to be the impact what DESI TRILL bring to the music world.
I love that. All right, Shabz, the launch of DESI TRILL coincides with South Asian Heritage Month. How significant is it for you to celebrate the impact of culture in the global music scene?
It's super. It's so important, man. Like, we're raising the flag, man. I mean, our company slogan is brown is everywhere, and we live and stand by that. We are really pushing that, you know. So it's a blessing that we're in this month. The announcement is in this month, so it was meant to be.
I love that. And you said that your vision revolves around cultural unity and appreciation. Like you said, brown is everywhere. How do you see this genre contributing to a more interconnected world, both musically and culturally?
I mean, by the way, this is our vision. This is the whole DESI TRILL vision. So, I mean, like, this is going to slot right in, right? Like I said at the top of this conversation, the whole world is ready for cultural education, and South Asian and the incredible Indian culture of food, art, fashion. The whole world is waiting for this, right? And we know as South Asians, it's always existed in our bubble, right? And that feels like a world within a world. But we're here to push this narrative and to, like I always say, man, to re-educate the world, man.
I love that. Tai, I'm going to have to ask you something a little offbeat. What was your introduction to the South Asian or Indian culture like, musically speaking? What were your first influences?
Well, the first thing that really got my attention in the space is the Punjabi MC and Jay-Z song. Yeah. You know, and the fact that, you know, we were I remember the day we heard it. I think we were in Switzerland, somewhere overseas, and we was driving in the car, and the song came in on the radio. And we all was like, that shit is fire. And it had that Night Rider sample that we grew up on, right? And that flip was hard, right? And then we heard it again in London. And then when Jay jumped on the song, again, when we heard the song, it didn't matter. We just knew it was a dope song. It didn't matter. We didn't understand what he was singing about, obviously. But it was the groove. The same way when I think about Michael Jackson and, you know, touring in Russia, they didn't understand what Michael Jackson was saying. A lot of them, you know, but they love the groove, they love the melodies, they love the dance, right? So when we heard that, and when Jay jumped on it, and when I saw Punjabi MC on Hot 97 on the radio station, the biggest hip hop station in the world, that thing never left my mind, you know. And then when Shabz came in with this idea, that's the first thing I thought about, and I was like, yeah, Shabz, now is the time, you know. And the reason why I believe it didn't happen because it was only one song instead of a bunch of them. It was only, you know, if it was a crew, a bunch of people at the same time, it would have been different. And I think now is the time for that to happen.
Right. I think there's more cultural awareness, as Shabz and you both mentioned, within pop culture itself, whether that is through introduction of South Asian or Indian foods or music and Bollywood movies, and just the kind of infusion of culture within mainstream hip hop and pop, like, you know, Western culture as well. I think it's making that transition a lot smoother. So question for both of you is, how do you anticipate DESI TRILL influencing the evolution of music genres? We talked about hip hop, we talked about rap, we talked about pop culture and like infusing that Desi sound. How do you see evolving further with DESI TRILL?
I think DESI TRILL is going to be a leader in the new genre of music. That's what we believe. Right?
Facts.
So the way you just named those other hip hop and you name those different genres, it's gonna be DESI TRILL is gonna be its own genre with its own playlist and with people screaming what it is, you know, just really like K-pop or hip hop or R&B, you know, it's gonna be DESI TRILL, and that's what it's gonna be. And like I was saying before, to us, for me personally, me to be able to help expand hip hop into a wider audience and make it digestible in this different way, I'm doing my part in what hip hop has given me and my family. So it's a real thing, and this is legacy for us. You know, we create a new genre of music, you know, and that doesn't happen that often. So that's how I feel about it.
Love that. Shabz, did you want to add on to that?
it's going to be disruptive, but it's going to slot right in at the same time. You know what I mean? It's going to be exciting. It's going to be great. We can't wait.
All right, it's going to fit in right in with the rapidly changing music landscape. So final question for you guys is, where are those who are eager to follow DESI TRILL's journey? Where can they stay updated on social media, upcoming release, collaborations? I know you guys have something special lined up very soon for our audiences, so I'll let you preview and talk about that for a little bit.
I mean, firstly, everything's DESI TRILL. That's all the handle. That's all the platforms. DESI TRILL. You know what I mean? So everyone just get a follow in, stay tuned, stay locked, and you know what I mean? It's going to be a great journey.
Awesome. Ty, would you like to add on to that?
I second what Shabz just said.
All right. Yeah. Follow DESI TRILL's online. All right. Final question before we segue off and let you guys sign off. Top 5 music songs that come to mind right now. What's on your playlist? Shabz, go first.
Damn. Like, in terms of
me
songs
today is Gabriel, is James Blake. Who else am I listening to? I'm listening to like a lot of different. I'm listening to a lot of old school stuff though. You know, I was listening to David Ruffin today on the plane, right? So I'm listening to that. I'm listening to Teddy Pendergrass. I'm listening to just a bunch of old stuff for me. So for my 5th one, I don't even know which one I'm listening. It's just old school music right now.
Love it. All right, Shabz, you got a little bit of time to think about it. What's on your playlist?
What can I say, man? In terms of artist-wise, man, I'm always going back to like the Stevie Wonders, the Michael Jacksons. You know what I mean? I gotta have Jay-Z in there. That like, no pun intended. The DMX, you know what I mean? So it's a whole mixture. I can't just put it down to 5.
Love it. Love it. All right. Thank you so much, Shabz and Ty for your time. We wish you all the best with this new genre. Nice to meet you too. So Rukus Avenue Radio listeners, this is your correspondent Priyadarshini G signing off with the co-founders of DESI TRILL, a new genre of music making waves in the South Asian music industry. With Shabz and Ty. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Rukus Avenue Radio.